Today we're going to be working on a 2016 Land Rover Range Rover Sport. We're actually starting back here just to get the radio out. We need to take this side panel off here so we can take off some panels up front. The first thing we need to do is take off this front faceplate here. I've got a pry tool here, so I'll just get in the corner and kind of pry. And you'll feel the clips come loose. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright, now that we've got that loose, just put that to the side. And then we're going to take this off the top here. It's a little rubber thing, like a little pocket. It just pulls right out. There's clips on the bottom here that kind of stick in. Now that we got that loose, the next thing is going to be taking this off. So we're just going to use an 8mm and take these two screws out. Alright, now that we got those loose, this panel will come out. Go. Just pull on that. You can actually just set this down right here, or you can unplug it. Either way, we're not going to need to mess with anything else back here now, and we'll be moving our way up front. Alright, so the next step is going to be taking off this bezel here. So we're just going to take our pry tool and pull from the top first. The only other clips that aren't on the front face here are on the bottom, and they actually go vertical, so they go straight up into the bottom. So you don't want to pry from the bottom first, you want to pry from the top. And you want to pry your way around one side until you start to hear it come loose. And as you can see, this side's all loose now. And we're just missing the ones on the bottom here. So I'm going to open the glove box so I can get a better hold on the bottom. And just push down. And this is out now. And as you can see, we've got the vertical clips right here that would normally be up. And then we've got these that stick into this plastic here to keep everything in place. Alright, so next step is taking off the silver trim on the side here. You're going to take your pry tool, go under the edge on the side, and instead of prying out, you're just going to want to push towards you. You'll feel it come loose a little bit, and then we're going to work our way down, push up a little bit more, and you're going to want to keep pushing up this way and never prying towards you while the clips go up. There we go. And as you can see, the ones on the bottom go straight down, and then as you work your way up, they kind of go at an angle. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. And you can also pry from this side as well. And now that we've got both of those loose, the next step to get behind the radio here is to take off this front faceplate. Or actually, sorry, we don't need to take that off, but we need to get these two screws out on either side. And those are going to be 8mm again. Alright, now that we've got those loose, this will actually just pull straight out. Like that. And there's going to be one plug on the back that we need to undo. And as you can see, this is the plug we just undid here. And it's just plugged straight into there. It goes in upside down like that. And the next step is going to be taking out the radio, which now is just these two screws on either side of it. And we're using a T15 Torx bit for this, and the rest of the Torx screws. And then all you have to do is pull out. Once you get it out to right here, it drops down. And we're going to put it back in for now while we take the display out. And to get it back in, you need to push back and up. And it slides up and then back. And now we need to take off this metal cage here. It's just for T15 Torx as well. And this will pull right off. Now that we got that loose, we can take off these two touch panels here. And it's T15s again, one on top, one on bottom for each panel. Alright, now that we got those off, you just pull back towards you, there's two little pins that kind of hold them in place. That'll reveal the 4 more screws that we need to undo to get behind the display. And now we can pull the display out fully. So we're going to get our VLine connections ready and then we'll be back. Alright, so the next step is going to be hooking up the VLine cables behind the display, and then we'll move on to the radio. First one we're going to connect is our GVMF here. We've got the 2 blue ports on this side, our port and plug, and then we've got our display port here. And the second cable we'll be hooking up is going to be the main power harness. And that looks like this. I have the female connector here for the factory plug behind the display, and this to go into the display, and this end will go to the VLine with the display port. So we're going to pull this out, and we're going to do the GVMF right here. Plug it into the female side. And the other side is going to go into the back of the display. Just like that. And we're going to undo this plug here. That's going to be for our main harness. Just like that. And that's all the connections behind the display that are needed. We're going to run our cables out to the side for now, just because we're going to continue working with this. And the last one to connect behind the actual radio here is going to be for the USB. This is the factory side here, and this will plug into the pigtail coming out of the actual VLine. And you don't necessarily need to pull the full radio out and unplug everything. You're just going to undo this connector here in the middle. It's the same as ours. We'll plug ours in its slot. And then you can slide everything back in. And if you find it difficult to put the stereo back in, just make sure that you're pushing it back while it's tilted. And after that, then you go up like that. There we go. And that's all the plugs that we needed to connect. Now we're going to focus on running our wires next, and we'll be back. Alright, so we've gone ahead and ran all the cables. We went ahead and ran them underneath here, this little corner, and underneath this panel. And you can see them right here. They're all together. So we've ran all of those through the side hole here, and it goes straight down to behind the glove box. So I just pushed the glove box back and pulled them through. And we're just finishing untaping them now from the zip tie that we ran through there. Alright, so now we've got all of our cables here. We can hook up the VLine, but we're going to go ahead and reassembling everything. So we need to put our panel back in here. Plug that in, and it just kind of slides into place. You want to make sure it's lined up properly on top and bottom. And there we go. And you'll feel it click into place once it's finally there. And we can go ahead and put those 8mm back in. Now that we got all those back in place, the next step will be putting on these side pieces of trim here. So we'll grab those. Here's the driver's side one. And it's just the same way we took them out. You're going to want to put the top part in first and push, and just make sure it's fully in there. And then you should be able to push down on this side without hurting anything. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is this right here in the corner. I'll actually show you on the trim. There's this lip right here. You want to make sure you get that in the lip in the corner over here, otherwise it won't actually go down. And so we'll put that inside there, and it all starts to fit into place. From there, you're just going to be pushing it down to make sure all those clips set. There we go. Now that one's good, we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so we've got that one in place now. The next thing we're going to do is put our trim above here, and then we'll move back again to the back to put that back panel on. So here's this. And just remember from before, the clips on the bottom, we're going to want to put those in first. So you want to start down low, So now all of our bottom clips are in, and from there we're just going to want everything else to snap into place. It's good to wiggle it sometimes if you can't feel the clips go into the right spot. Alright, so we've got that panel back in place. We'll move ahead to the back and we'll go ahead and put that back on. Alright, so we're going to be putting this panel back in now. It's pretty simple. You kind of want to start up because there are some actual clips that go in up top. And then push down, and then the bottom ones you can push straight. And now our two 8mm are going to go back in up top. And the next step will be putting this back in. You want to make sure the back clip goes in here first. That one, and then you can push all 3 of these or 4 of these down. There we go. And this just snaps right into place. And that's how you do the install.